Welcome to Health Students Watching. For previous lessons, what is one way that we can know God? Students watching, Morgan.
By reading His Word.
Yes, by reading His Word, trusting Him as Savior. What is one way that we can love God? Anna?
By being kind.
By serving others, by being kind to them. Good. Loving others is a good way to show our love and thankfulness in return to God for all that He has done for us. We've been talking about safety. What is something that we should remember when crossing a street, Gage?
Look left and right.
Yes, make sure you look in all directions before you cross. Should you cross between parked cars, Presley?
No.
No, make sure that you are using the crosswalk. What are some things that you could follow as you're crossing that street, Carson?
The stop and walk sign.
Right, the walk sign will let you know when to wait and when it is safe to cross that street. So, Gage, we're going to pick up learning more about our safety, particularly when we're playing and enjoying areas with our friends. Let's talk more about that recreational safety. Read our first word for us, Madison.
Neighborhood.
Yes, a neighborhood is a group of houses that are gathered together, usually on a certain street or area, and that group of people that live close to you. Jackson.
Diseases.
Yes, diseases are infections. Adriana.
Poisonous.
There are certain things that could be poisonous, so we would want to know what they are to stay away from them to prevent any kind of illness to our body. Let's begin reading on page 104 more about how to play safely with our friends. Begin for us, Josh.
Recreational safety. Playing in your neighborhood can be lots of fun. By practicing safety habits, you can make sure you're playing safe.
And continue with play safely.
Playing safely. It is never safe to play in a busy street. Your backyard, a playground, or a neighborhood park can all be safe places to play. An adult should be with you if you play at a public playground or park. Before you can begin to play, you should look for broken glass or other trash on the play area. If you find any sharp objects, ask an adult to remove them. You should also look for holes in the ground that might make you trip, or climb.
You skipped a line, or
fall before you start a game. Do not climb on bleachers or picnic tables, but they are not made for active play. The wood is rough and you could get splinters from it.
Yes, now let's pause. So playing with our friends on a recreational area like a swing set or where there's slides, that playground can be a lot of fun. But there are certain things we have to think about when we're enjoying that fun time. First of all, should you ever go to that area of play by yourself, students watching? And Jimmy? No, you should always have a friend, an adult with you. What are some things that you should watch for as you begin playing on the playground? Morgan?
Make sure there aren't any holes in the ground.
Yes.
So you don't trip and fall inside them.
Right. So look at the ground. Look to see, are there holes? Watch for things that could cause you to trip. So watch and look where you are running. What else should you do when you're on that playground? Carson?
Don't run on the picnic tables and bleachers.
Right. So those kinds of areas were made for people to sit, not for people to be running and playing on. If the wood is rough, what could happen to you if you're playing near that rough wood? Presley?
You could get splinters.
You could get splinters, and those can be very painful and cause infection. Pick up your pencil. Let's think about it. Neighborhood safety. Do you play in a safe place? Write some of your favorite games to play outside. Begin listing a couple of those favorites there. Give me one of your favorite students watching. Cadence. What is the first one you listed?
Tag.
Tag can be a lot of fun. Just make sure you're being safe about it, thinking about what you're doing and where you're running. What else is a favorite you enjoy, Carson?
Cops and robbers.
So that would also be a form of tag that you may enjoy playing with your friends. What do you enjoy playing, Jackson?
Swimming.
Swimming, he enjoys those outdoor activities. There are many fun things to do outside. You always want to be thinking safety, even when you're enjoying those fun times of play. Playing games together with friends, like our sports games, are good. That's a good activity, good exercise. We also want to be thinking about safety, though, when we're playing those games. Continue reading for us, Carly.
It is good to play outside and get all the fresh air and exercise you can. While you are playing, if you feel tired, you should stop and rest because you will not be able to move as fast and you may not be as aware of your surroundings.
Good, smoothness. Pause. If you're running and you're playing, you're in your soccer game, you're in your football game, you're in your baseball game, and you're starting to feel very, very tired, what should you do, students watching? Anna.
Get out of the game.
Yes, or stop and take a break, rest for a little bit. Get some water, calm down. If you're getting very hot from the heat, maybe from the sun, if it's a bright sunny day, you want to allow your body to cool down before you continue. If you don't and you keep going, that's when those injuries occur because you're not thinking as well. Your body is a lot more tired, and those injuries happen when you're tired and you're not thinking. You need to rest for a few moments before you continue playing. Continue reading for us, Tyra.
If you wear glasses, you should be very careful during any active game. Your optometrist may suggest that you take your glasses off while you are playing or that you wear sports glasses that are not easily broken.
Good. Now pause. If you wear glasses, what is something that you should think about while you're playing? Adriana?
Take them off or you have some other type of glasses.
Right. There are going to be certain activities or sports games where glasses, you might want to set those to the side and wear a different type of glasses, like sports glasses, because you don't want them to be broken. They're very expensive, so you want to take care of them. Plus, if you have a ball come towards your face and you're wearing glasses, that could cause an injury to your face as well. So you want to make sure that you're thinking safety, especially if you wear glasses during those activities. Let's read more about what we should do to protect our feet when we're playing. Continue reading for us, Aiden.
You should not go barefoot while you are playing. Shoes protect your feet from splinters, cuts, rusty nails, and germs. When you play team sports like baseball, football, or soccer, always wear protective gear. These items can protect you from serious injuries.
Good accuracy. Pause. What can you do to protect your feet while you're playing? Cadence?
Like, if you have to wear a specific shoe, wear that kind of shoe.
Right. If that activity calls for a certain type of shoe, wear that specific type of shoe. That's usually there to protect your feet from injury. Don't play barefoot. It might sound fun, but it can cause injuries and things can happen very quickly. So you want to protect your feet. Sometimes other specific sports have specific protective wear that your coach will encourage you to wear. Go ahead and wear it. Sometimes it may seem fun to try to be tough and try not to wear it, but that's when injuries occur, when you're not being careful. That protective wear is there to keep you safe from injury. So wear it and make use of it. You always want to be thinking safety so that you can enjoy that game for a long time with your friends. Let's read about a couple other things that we need to think about when we're playing. Continue reading for us, Anna.
If you're a good sport, you think of other people and play safely during a game. It is never safe to throw socks, rocks, or sticks, or to trip or push other children. You should avoid rough play since it can cause careless accidents.
Good. Now let's pause. Why should you avoid rough play? Students watching? Aiden.
Because it could cause an accident.
Yes, it can cause a careless accident. So don't play rough. Play calmly, play nicely, follow the rules, think about others. Don't get carried away. So if you find yourself getting to that point, take a break, because that's when those accidents can occur that can cause much more serious injuries than were intended. As we play, some of the things that we enjoy playing with are our pets. How many of you have a pet? Raise your hand. I see lots of hands here. See some students watching who have one. Hands down. There are things that we need to remember even about pets or other animals that we may come across. Let's read about them. Continue, Jimmy.
Animal safety. Do you like animals? Your family pet may be fun to play with, but you should ask the owner's permission before playing with another pet. If you see a pet wandering around by itself, do not call the animal to you. Instead, tell your parent and stay inside until the animal has been taken care of.
Very smooth. Pause. You're outside playing. Your neighbor has a dog. You think, let's play with our neighbor's dog. We could play fetch with him. What should you do before playing with that animal? Students watching. Aiden.
Ask the owner.
Ask the owner. Even if you know the dog and you've played with him before, it's still polite and thoughtful to check with the owner. If you see a dog or an animal outside and you call him, is that a smart thing to do? Students watching. Cadence. No, that animal might not be friendly. It might look friendly. Maybe you thought you've seen it before. You know the owner. It's not wise. Find an adult to help you in that situation, to help find who that animal belongs to, but don't try to take care of that situation yourself, or don't begin playing with that animal if it doesn't belong to you. So make sure you're thinking carefully there. Sometimes those animals could have injuries, or they could have certain diseases that we want to stay away from. Let's read more about it. Continue, Carson.
There are some animals that you should avoid. Animals that are injured may not realize that you are trying to help them, and they could bite or scratch you. Have you ever seen a nest of baby birds? Birds and squirrels are interesting to watch, but it is best to stay away from them. But it is best to watch them from a distance. Some animals carry diseases. By avoiding these animals, you are keeping yourself safe.
Good expression. Slow down just a bit. Jackson.
Have you ever seen an anthill or a wasp nest? Maybe you have been stung by one of these insects. Check the area where you play, including any playground equipment, before using it, to be sure there are no harmful insects. What should you do if you are stung, bitten, or scratched by an animal? Be sure to tell your parent. They will help you wash the injury with soap and water, or may take you to the doctor.
Good. Pause. Why is it best to watch some animals from a distance? Students watching. Jimmy.
They might bite or scratch you.
Right. And some of them could carry diseases. What should you do if you are stung, bitten, or scratched by an animal? Students watching. Cadence.
Get an adult.
Yes. And what else could you do to help treat your injury?
Go to a doctor.
Yes. And you could also take some time to wash it. So if you do have that scratch, go ahead and wash it. Do find an adult. See if the doctor needs to look at it as well. But you can wash it to help clean some of those germs that could have gotten into your skin through that injury. So you want to make sure you avoid those areas. Take a look at the top of the page. There you see an anthill. Those are very common when you're playing outside. You might see those around. That's why it's important to watch where you're running. If you run through one of those, there could be a lot of ants that begin to crawl out who are defending themselves in their home, so they could bite you in defense. Same thing with a wasp nest. You could be playing maybe hide and go seek with your friends, and as you're hiding, you come across one of those. Be very careful to stay away from that location, because they might think you're invading their space or coming into their territory, and they're going to react out of maybe anger or frustration that you're coming so close to their home, and so they could sting you. And sometimes those things will cause a serious reaction. So you want to make sure that you are very aware of your surroundings while you're playing, while you're running, while you're having your fun, so that none of these accidents happen to you. Let's look at caution, animal safety. Read those tips for us. Kaden.
Caution, animal safety. Avoid animals that are not with their owners. Do not try to help an injured animal. Check any play areas for harmful insects. Wash your hands after playing with a pet.
Good things to do to stay safe. Now let's take a look at the next page. Plant safety. I want you to start by looking at the picture. You see 3 specific types of plants: poison sumac, poison oak, and poison ivy. Those plants have an oil on them that if your skin comes in contact with it, your skin could react to that oil. So that would cause a reaction. Let's find out more about how to stay safe around these certain types of plants. Continue reading for us, Presley.
Plant safety. Did you know poison plants might be in your neighborhood? You should learn to recognize, stay away from them. Poison ivy, poison oak, and poison sumac are the most common plants that can irritate your skin. Poison sumac is a shrub or a small tree. In the early spring, its leaves are orange. Then they turn green. In the fall, they turn red-orange color. Poison oak is usually grown in olive vines. Poison ivy grows at low crawling shrub or a climbing vine. Both poison ivy and poison oak have shiny leaves that turn bright colors in fall.
Good expression. Now let's pause. There's a couple things to notice here. Poison sumac, first of all, is a shrub or a small tree. Poison oak grows as a vine, so it would be a vine growing up a certain tree. Poison ivy grows as a lower crawling shrub or as a climbing vine, so it could be either or. Now, that poison ivy and poison oak have those shiny leaves, so that's something to look out for and to notice while you're playing. Let's find out what happens when that oil comes in contact to your skin. Continue for us, Kathleen.
If your skin comes in contact with one of these plants, the oil from the plant will cause your skin to turn red and swell. Blisters will form on your skin and your skin will itch. Skin poisoning can be especially harmful if it causes swelling around your eyes and nose, making it hard for you to breathe. As soon as you have touched a poisonous plant, tell a parent. You will need to wash your skin well with warm water and soap, and anti-itch cream can help soothe your skin until it heals.
Well done. Now let's pause. Story time with Miss Heindel. I am very allergic to these 3. So one time I was with my cousins and we were out walking, exploring the neighborhood. We went to a tree. We saw some berries. We thought, let's pick the berries from the tree. We could make a pie. So we began pulling the branches down to grab the berries. When all of a sudden, maybe after 5 or 10 minutes, we realized that there weren't just branches with berries, that each of those branches had a vine wrapped around them, and that vine was poison ivy. Well, myself being very allergic to it, I immediately think I need to get my hands cleaned, my arms cleaned, because that oil now is all over my skin. So I run back to my cousin's house, get to that water immediately, put that water on it, and that water is able to wash off the oil. So I ended up only having a very small patch that broke out on my arm or that reacted to that oil. That poisonous oil caused my skin to react, to become red, to blister, but just a small patch, I was able to get most of it off. Recently, I went hiking. Also on that hiking trip, I saw some beautiful flowers. So my friend and I thought we will collect these flowers. We began gathering those flowers. Well, needless to say, some of those flowers must have contact with some of this poison ivy or poison oak, so my hand reacted, and I have a blister on my skin that is now finishing up healing from the reaction to that poison ivy that was near these plants. So your skin could react. Now, not everyone's skin reacts, but many people's skin does when it comes in contact with that oil. A key to remember is it is an oil, so it's going to need an extra amount of washing to get the oil to come off of your skin. That powerful, strong water will help rinse it off, And usually you'll probably have to put some cream on it to help with the itching if your skin does react. So a couple safety tips there to be aware so that your skin doesn't react to that poison ivy. Go ahead and take out a pencil. Let's look at our comprehension check. Writing yes or no, you may return to your seat. Number 1, is it safe to play basketball in a busy road? Students watching? Jackson?
No.
No, it is not. There are many cars that could come and there's much activity, a lot of things to watch for, not a safe place to play. Number 2, should you check the playground for broken glass or trash before playing? Students watching? Morgan?
Yes.
Yes. Number 3, should you ask the owner of the cute puppy if you can pet it? Jimmy?
Yes.
Yes, you should. Number 4, should you pick up the injured bird that fell out of its nest? Tyra?
No.
You want to help out, but the mother could be near at that injury. You never know what else is going on, so you want to be very careful. No, you should not. Number 5, is it safe to poke sticks into anthills? Students watching? Kirsten? No, it is not. Once you finish that last answer, students watching will pick up learning more about our safety in our next lesson.